You ever been on a plane?
On an aeroplane?
Have you ever been on an aeroplane?
Yeah, I've been on an aeroplane, a timer 100.
What was the first time you were on an aeroplane?
First time. I think the first time was before I remember. I think when I was very little, one or two, I was on a flight.
Yeah.
But then subsequently, I think I wasn't on one until I was like 12.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
First time on a flight, I think I was maybe 20, 21 years old, something like that. It was pretty late. It was post 9/11.
Post 9/11.
So yeah, really strict security on it now. Not like you see in Home Alone where it's just loosey-goosey kind of stuff. You can run from the gate to the terminal or whatever.
Yeah. How do you feel about flying?
I don't mind it too much, actually. I know a lot of people get nervous on flying. People are worried about crashing, airplanes crashing or whatever.
Are people still worried about that?
I think they are. I think people are still worried about airplanes crashing. People have fear of flying in general.
Yeah.
I don't really have a fear of flying. It feels like if we crash, I'm in no way control over what happens. And so I feel no responsibility for it. And so when I feel turbulence, it doesn't really do anything for me. It's like if the plane's going to go down, it's going to go down. And
I can't make any different decisions.
I'm just going to sit here and read my book or watch my movie or whatever. I think the thing that stresses me out the most about flying is the security thing. Like that's it. Like largely going up
through TSA.
Yeah, standing in a line for an hour or two and then just being like kind of...
You're the type of person who I feel like can be made to feel guilty even when you haven't done anything wrong.
It is. Anytime I exit a store and the alarm goes off or something like that.
Oh, like, I'm a criminal.
You know, when you've actually paid for something, but there's still a tag on there. It's like, they think I'm up to no good. Oh, geez, I made a bad impression on these people I'll never see again.
Yeah.
I don't mind it so much in a situation where I'm flying on a plane and I have two friends beside me. I hate sitting next to strangers. I don't like going to movie theaters because I hate sitting next to strangers. I don't want my private space invaded by them. Yeah. And when I'm on a plane by myself, you're next to at least one person you don't know usually. And I hate
You're
that.
Real lucky if you got an empty seat next to you. Well, okay, so where do you like to sit on a plane?
Window seat. If I sit on, how about you?
100% window seat.
I like looking out the window, even when you're just looking at clouds. It's like I'm seeing heaven out my window. That's like a pretty cool thing.
I like the view. I like to be able to look out the window. I think that's really cool. I never lose that sort of wonder of being able to see the earth below from 30,000 feet.
You feel like an astronaut.
Yeah, but I also just like to be enclosed because when I fly, I don't like flying. And I'm not afraid of it. I don't have nerves about it. I just find the physical reality of the modern day sort of cost-cutting airline experience to be deeply uncomfortable.
No knee space.
No space.
Like if you're a tall person, it's got to be awful.
Totally. So I really like to, my defense mechanism is to really go into stasis. I want to be on the inside seat. I want to fall asleep as best I can. It'll be fitful, right?
I can't do that.
I also don't want to move for someone who has to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Now, if I have to use the bathroom, I don't care if they have to move.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to move. Yeah. So that's me.
I think the thing that put me at ease on my first flight was midway through the flight. We were going from Michigan to New York. That was my first flight. And it's about a 4-hour flight. And midway through it, they come through with a cart and you get a free Coca-Cola. And I remember thinking to myself, holy shit. Like, I don't have to pay for this. I get a free Coke. That's awesome.
All my money back.
That was the highlight of my trip, that free Coca-Cola. I really didn't like New York after that, though. A lot of grumpy people there. Watch it, kid!
Globensky Regional Consolidated presents The Long Road Home Alone, live from Sheboygan with your hosts, Jimmy Dantes and Joey Z.
Globensky Regional Consolidated, we're what you anticipated. Just ask ask our customers, we're substance over style.
Does it hurt your soul when you do that? You're like a little, like on strings or something, for Dan Glebensky.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. Harpsichord.
That movie.
You're like a harpsichord.
That one movie.
What? Pinocchio?
Strings to hold me down.
Iron Man 2? No.
Yeah,
Avengers 2?
No,
yeah.
that Spike Jones
Got
movie.
no springs to hold.
Yeah.
Springs.
Being John Malkovich.
Oh, yeah.
that was
John
a good one.
Cusack.
John Cusack,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Yeah, no, I feel a little bit about like that.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I forgot for a second I was in a bad mood, but now I'm back.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good.
What are we talking about today?
Boy, I don't know. What do you think? We never know.
I'm not leaving this place unless I'm on an airplane.
True that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know if that's true for you, but I recognize that that's actually a quote from Home Alone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, usually when I leave this place, it's in a car or on foot.
Yeah.
Not on an airplane.
Yeah.
I don't got my own private jet yet.
Yeah. Sometimes you leave this place, it's in the back of a limousine, it seems like. I've seen you. I've seen you living.
No.
I've seen you live in your prima donna lifestyle.
I don't think that's me.
I was like, oh, wait, we can't go live yet.
You're thinking about the
I'm
body
still-
double that
I'm
Dan
still in the
Glebensky
limousine.
hired to make it look like I was doing that.
I don't think so.
You know what? Let's just remember that we're friends, okay? Me and you,
Let's
we're
remember
friends.
that.
And we've been on an airplane together. So today, let's talk about...
Let's take to the skies.
Let's go there.
Into the wild blue yonder. What happens up there?
As much as pizza is important to the movie Home Alone,
And it
I
is.
think airplanes are also equally as important to the movie Home Alone.
Wow.
Kevin would not have been left home alone if it were not for him missing the airplane.
Well,
Mother, I missed the plane in
mother.
Paris.
Oh, mother, did I miss the plane?
So, McAllister's flying from Chicago to Paris because Peter's brother, Rob, got a new job in Paris, and the McAllisters have been watching out for the little kids while they've been over there. So, we're going out there as a little treat.
That's right. A whole family coming over for Christmas time.
Except for one guy.
Except for one little guy.
Left behind.
One little guy named Kevin.
Kevin!
What did you do to my room?
No, that's the end of the movie.
Shoot.
I put my hands to
Spoiler
my face
alert.
when I did that. Did you not see?
I did.
Kevin, oh, wait, no. Kate doesn't put her hands to her. Kate doesn't go, Kevin! Put the hand to the... No, it's...
Oh, you see how I was confused?
yeah, it's the... That's where the hands go to
That's
the
the
face.
hands.
All
The
right.
hands are on the face.
We're talking about airplanes today.
Big time.
In the movie Home
obviously,
Alone,
I think.
American
Really?
Airlines
Off
featured
to a-
prominently in the movie.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk ads inserted. You want to talk product placement. You know.
You got the VHS copy of it where they put the American Airlines is happy to sponsor the film Home Alone.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think they actually paid any money to Home Alone, though, in the way that Pepsi did to get their product placement. I think it was an exchange. It was, you can use our airline name. You can use the uniforms, the iconery. What's the word for
The
that?
iconography?
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, you can use the iconography from American Airlines
chicanery.
for free.
Yeah.
And in exchange, we'll get some product placement for this little known Christmas film that who knows, maybe
Right.
a few hundred people will see.
Right. And I mean, American Airlines is portrayed pretty nicely in the film.
I mean, this family shows up seconds before the flight is going to take off, and they say, no, we're going to get this family on that flight.
Right. And the woman at the gate, she's like, just take any seat. You made it just in time. Big smile on her face.
We're glad to have you.
She looks like anyone who might be selling burgers in the McDonald's commercial.
Exactly.
Right? You've literally never met anyone at McDonald's or at the gate of an airline who is as friendly as the person, this featured extra on screen.
We are all cogs in the corporate machine. So is she. And so are we.
And there are some more subliminal type of adverts going on as well, where I think we only see first class on the airline. We never see the kids and coach. But when Kate says, "Don't you feel like a heel flying first class with all the kids back in coach?" and Peter's like, "Are you kidding? They're having the time of their lives." No one's having the time of their lives in coach.
No.
On a cross Atlantic flight.
I don't
They're
think
just
so.
not. But that's that little subliminal, like, oh yeah, air flight, air travel, ain't this the life?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Maybe if you're in first class. I've only ever flown coach. I don't think they call it coach anymore. They made a new term for it that'll make you feel better.
Economy.
About economy.
Yeah.
I'm not in coach. Where did that come from? Coach. What is that a reference to?
Coach. That's that Craig T. Nelson show?
Yeah, that's what it is. The plane in Home Alone isn't real, by the way.
What do you mean?
Well, the outside of the plane is real. They got some real footage from American Airlines, but the interior of it, if you didn't know, isn't actually shot on a plane.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like we've talked about this sort of thing before.
Maybe
if
just
you
a
listen
little
to
bit
the
ago,
show,
watch a month ago, listen a month
ago. You listen to the show.
If
we were talking.
If you don't know, movie sets take up a lot of space, and you don't got much room on an actual plane. So they had to build a fake version of the plane, and so you got a camera that can go overhead of Frank when he's saying that's real crystal.
Now, next time you watch Home Alone, by the way, pay attention to that shot because it's quite a cool shot.
Yeah. Also, look out the windows because if you watch a few other films. And we'll talk about them a little later.
Yeah.
You look out the windows, you'll see clouds, you'll see skylines, you'll see cities. Home Alone, everything's whited out. You don't get to see anything outside those windows because that's the cheap way of doing a film set. They didn't have any money on Home Alone.
No. Shoestring budget.
Shoestring. Fox Studios, what are you thinking? You didn't know how much money this movie was going to make?
Nickel and dime stuff.
I got it.
Well, I think that... Wait, what were we supposed to talk about?
I don't know. Home Alone as, you know what's pretty preposterous? Someone leaving their kid behind while going through airport security.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is probably the biggest plot hole in Home Alone is that a family, a mother and a father go to the airport. How do you not notice during any point in security? And this is the 90s. It's not as strict as it was post 9/11.
Yeah.
But how do you go to an airport, go through even the metal detector and not notice one of your kids is missing? How does Kate and Peter not stand at the gate of the plane and count how many of their kids are walking onto it?
Totally. Now, we know that they do their best to really support this.
They do.
Right? We see, if you watch closely, we see
the
Kevin's
passport is thrown away.
And his ticket. And his ticket. They're thrown into the trash.
Just his passport and his ticket, coincidentally.
Right.
All right. I still believe it.
Right. And and they're harried, they're hurried, they do the count is wrong. It's chaotic enough where each and every adult is assuming that another adult is paying attention.
Yep.
They're late to the plane, so they have to go. Now the parents are in first class, the kids are in coach.
Yeah.
All this sort sit wherever there's space so you're not all seated together.
We'll sort it all out once we get to Paris.
Exactly. Yep. So there's a lot of plausible deniability baked in, but I do have to agree, this is maybe one of the hardest things to believe.
Pretty unrealistic, but you know what? The movie's got to happen because it's going to be one of the greatest films in the world. So here we go. Put that out of your mind. Kevin didn't make the plane, the parents didn't notice, and the movie happens.
Stop thinking about it.
Don't think.
Really like a merry-go-round.
Hold the foot. Did we miss the flight?
No, you just made it.
Yeah!
Single seats only, coach. Take whatever's free.
I get window seat.
I'm really like a merry-go-round.
You kids are in coach. We're in
Are you serious?
All right, so we've already talked about how the interior of the airplane was shot at New Trier High School, which is where the house was built. It was built in the gymnasium. So much of the film, pretty much all of Kate's scenes, apart from the beginning and the end and one moment in which she's in a van, are at an airport or on an airplane.
Yes.
And the airport scenes, you've got 3 locations there now. We've got O'Hare, which is where they depart from.
Right.
Orly, which is where they come into. Now, a lot of people may have thought you're flying into Paris, it's going to be Charles de Gaulle
yeah.
Airport. And that actually wasn't the case back in the 90s. They initially intended to have that be the arrival location, but then they found out how American Airlines worked. And throughout all of the 90s, American Airlines flew transatlantic to Orly because it was closer to city central for Paris.
I see.
And so they changed the idea. They changed where they were going to land.
Yeah.
They don't actually shoot at Paris at all because the film was on supposedly a shoestring budget.
Right.
And so they didn't have the money.
Now, not to interject here needlessly, but since we were talking about it already, is Rob's apartment in Paris also shot in the gymnasium?
I believe it's also a set at the gymnasium.
We can
window looking out to the Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower.
That's
right?
not real. That's
It's
just
not real.
it's projected there, or it's a matte painting or something like, or green screen. But yeah, they're not actually in Paris at Rob's apartment.
There was no. They have like there's one like wide shot night exterior of Paris in the whole film.
Yeah, and then you get stock footage of like the Arc de Triomphe and the lane leading up to it.
Right, that's what I mean.
Mont Saint Michel. It's all stock footage. They didn't shoot that for this specific movie.
Obviously, no need to go overseas. Take your whole cast and crew to Paris. No reason to go to Paris.
You can film the whole thing in Chicago.
That's the magic of movies, folks.
Yep. And so actually, O'Hare was shot at Terminal 3, or at least what was then Terminal 3 at O'Hare. They shot for 4 days at O'Hare. Hundreds of extras. And it was like still an active airport while they were filming there.
You can't shoot. You can't shut a terminal down.
Yeah, and so you have real people in the background. Anybody who's close up to the actors, those are probably hired extras. Yeah, to keep it organized and whatnot.
You really see them at like at corner terminals.
Yeah,
right.
Places where you can,
or corner gates, I should say.
Yeah,
in
places
terminals.
where you can block out where the actual airport action is happening, where real customers are going onto the plane. So O'Hare was shot at O'Hare. They also shot Orly at O'Hare. They pretended like the place they landed into in Paris was in Paris, but it was actually shot at O'Hare. The other location they shot at is Scranton. So this is the only other airport we see in the movie.
So when Kate arrives in Scranton, when she goes, I've been from Paris to Dallas.
We don't see Dallas.
We don't see Dallas. Where the hell am I? And the guy goes, Scranton. So that was actually in Scranton?
It wasn't in Scranton. It was in Chicago. It was at a field that no longer exists. It's called Meigs Field. Or it was called Meigs Field until 2003 because the former mayor of Chicago, Richard M. Daley, decided, I don't want that airport there anymore. I want a park there. And so he concocted this plan to have the airport shut down. State legislature hated it. It was incredibly unpopular with the citizens of Chicago. And so it got hung up for years, for nearly a decade. And then in 2003, Richard M. Daley, still mayor of Chicago, said, you know what? I've had enough of that airport. And in the middle of the night, he hired city crews to break into the airport and bulldoze X-shaped gouges into the runway, basically making it so the airport was unusable from that point on.
Had it not been a decommissioned airport? Was it still
It was still active, and in doing so, he stranded planes with active passengers at the terminal.
This is like a terrorist act.
Seriously, is this Gotham City or something like that? But yeah, that was basically it. And his justification for it was that it would save the Chicago City taxpayers money from court fees trying to shut the airport down. And as a result, Meigs Airport, where John Candy played Gus Polinski. All of that was shot at Meigs Airport. That was demolished in 2003 as a result of one man, essentially, saying, I don't want that airport there anymore. And no real consequences. The airport was demolished. Northerly Island is where that's at now. You've got the older planetarium, I think it's called.
That's a real autocratic mayor move.
It really was.
That's really, to me, that's really giving mayors that are in like an action movie where somehow the mayor is just like the only person in government and they're fighting global terrorists or something. It's like, what mayor actually has that amount of power?
How do you sabotage an airport and not face any consequences for it? And he didn't. There was a $30,000 fine levied against the city, which is all the FAA could actually do to punish him for it.
Wow.
And he basically got away with it. And the park he wanted to build in 1994 was built.
Wow.
And that's where it is now. So if you want to see where Gus Polinski was born, Northerly Island, that's where it's at. Check it out.
He was born there.
Gus Polinski was born on Northerly Island at Meigs Field.
At Meigs Field.
Yep.
They used to call those things fields.
They did. It was probably a smaller airport, just a few runways, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what do you know about American Airlines?
I don't know too much about it, except that it started in 1931. Is that right?
I think so.
Around then.
Yeah,
and it was basically a merger of 80 smaller airlines.
I have 1930 here.
1930 is right.
Yeah, I think that there was this conglomerate that was created. So that may have taken place over the course of many months or a couple of years. But they are really kind of a storied airline. They really are kind of the American airline. They
been around since airplanes existed, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Commercial flight for sure. They had the first airport lounge.
Admiral's Club.
Yes.
I think it was called, yes.
They had the first, many years later, they had the first frequent flyers program. A-Advantage, I believe. And that was like early 80s.
They were the ones to dip their toes into adding all of these ancillary charges or accommodations or luxuries that customers could pay for.
Yes.
And I think the reason for that is that running an airline is incredibly expensive. Airplane fuel, jet fuel is really expensive. The maintenance required to make sure these things don't fall out of the sky when they're going up in the air, it's a lot of money. And you can't really make too much money off of just passengers paying the ticket price.
Right.
You got to charge them extra for an Admiral's Club or frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, get people locked into your airline, right? And really have the brand loyalty so that it's more difficult for folks who fly regularly to fly a different airline, even if somehow it's more convenient or maybe a little less expensive for a particular leg. They're really wanting to lock you into their brand so that they can rely on you every time.
My understanding, too, is that American Airlines is the first airline to actually make a profit off of shuttling passengers. It just being a passenger-based airline. Before then, most airlines made all of their money delivering U.S. mail.
It was freight.
That was it. You would carry U.S. mail from one city to the other, and the government would pay you, and you would add passengers in as sort of just like, okay, I guess, why not?
Right.
Like,
sort of the classic trope of like back with the chickens.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Someone riding on some chicken crates back there.
They didn't think that they would be able to make a profit off of just shuttling passengers because people don't want to pay the price that's needed to, ship you from one place to another in an airport.
Well, and then infamously, you had mentioned earlier, your favorite thing about flying the first time was that free Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That free Coca-Cola. Well, that, of course, is in heavy quotation marks. That Coke ain't free, right?
Oh, no.
Somebody's paying for it.
Yeah,
and
probably me.
I had read, probably you. I had read that American Airlines subsequently, maybe in the 80s, or maybe it was earlier than that, but they tried a micro cost cutting of only putting one olive on every salad because they crunched the numbers and they realized if they only put one olive on every salad, they would save $40,000 a year. And as a line item, that was not insignificant I guess. But that ultimately was a real PR nightmare for them because that was a real obvious way that people saw that they were sort of skimping on the extras, and they were taking away the experience, where people were like, well, flying, there are some things about flying that are sort of nice. They're sort of luxurious. You get to eat and you get drinks and you get catered to. And this was sort of like pulling back that veil a little bit and being like, no, we're mass transit. And everything costs us money, and we're going to start giving you a little less.
This is a numbers game. We don't care about you. We're just trying to make money off of you. And if you want better service, buy first class. Join the Admirals Club.
That's right.
So we're talking about airplanes. And I'm wondering, when you think of airplanes, what movies come to mind? Movies about airplanes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them for sure.
Tora.
I would be remiss. Yeah, Hell in the Pacific. I would be remiss to not mention Airplane! Exclamation point.
Is that a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Sort of. It's one of those.
Yeah, I don't like comedies.
It's one of those movies.
I don't like comedies. I like them less and less as the years go by.
Boy, there was Airport 74. There's Airport 75. There was Airport 76.
You ever seen The Terminal?
I've seen The Terminal.
Directed by Steven Spielberg. They recreated JFK in New York, and Tom Hanks lived there for a couple years, I think.
Yeah, he had to.
Yeah.
The Method.
I like it.
That's the Method.
I like it okay. That's basically,
all right.
That's like one of the only films post 2000 Steven Spielberg that I kind of like a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Catch Me If You Can, was that
yeah, there's some airplanes in that.
There's some airplanes.
That was around the Terminal era.
Yeah,
you got Tom Hanks
2000?
DiCaprio crossover. Yeah, it is. It's like 2002, 2004 or something. I like that one okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
There's some airplanes in that one. We could really go on and on and on, really, about airplanes. Huge trope in the movies, honestly.
If we get down to
it's kind of weird to think about because it's really hard to pretend that you're in an airplane and make a movie about it, but there's like a million of them.
It's such a small space. I mean, what action could possibly happen here?
What action could possibly happen
when I think
on an airplane?
When I think airplanes and movies, only one thing comes to mind, and I think you're reading my mind right now, and that is Executive Decision, starring Steven Seagal.
Starring Oliver Platt.
This really is a star-studded cast. You got Halle Berry, Kurt Russell,
John
B.D.
Leguizamo.
Wong. John Leguizamo is great in it.
Joe Morton is in it.
Joe Morton. I love Joe Morton in pretty much everything I see him in. I love him in Terminator 2. I love him in Smallville. Is it a plane? Is it a bird?
Yeah.
No, it's Joe Morton.
It's Joe Morton.
Joe Morton. Executive Decision, directed by Stuart Baird.
Yes.
He is mostly an editor.
Right.
Like, that's his career. He directed 3 films, as far as I'm aware.
He did U.S. Marshals.
U.S. Marshals, Executive Decision, and Star Trek Nemesis.
Star Trek Nemesis.
There's also a decompression scene in all 3 of those films. U.S. Marshals happens in Executive Decision.
Yes.
And in Nemesis, the viewing screen at the front of the Enterprise blows out and people get sucked out into space. He's got a thing for decompression scenes.
He loves decompression. He's like, look, mostly I'm a film editor, but I do have a bit of a story to tell.
He's probably experienced decompression on a personal level, and it's like, nope, that's the theme running through all of my films, airplanes being decompressed.
Yes.
Executive Decision, man.
It's good, man.
Don't think too many people know about it. It's this rare, like, kind of just unknown movie from the 1997 or something.
96.
96.
Yeah. I don't know how this movie went under the radar. I think, like, there are some weird... It's sort of like Kurt Russell playing against type, which may have... I love him in it. I think
Kurt Russell is charming as hell in Executive Decision.
I think it's really cool. It may have not played in its favor that Kurt Russell isn't playing like the typical sort of like, you know, like gleam in his eye, confident hero.
Let's get this out of the way right now. Okay, spoiler, red lights. Steven Seagal dies in the first 20 minutes of the film, and oh my God, it is the most meaningful moment that Steven Seagal has ever had in cinema, and he hated it.
Apparently, he was a real to work with too.
We got a great story, courtesy of John Leguizamo. John
Yes.
Leguizamo, if you've ever seen an interview, look these up. John Leguizamo talking about Steven Seagal, The Pest, Mario. He's also got a small part in John Wick, which I kind of like. John Leguizamo and Steven Seagal hate each other because on the first day of set, Steven Seagal shows up and says, "Hey, everybody, I'm the star on this set, and you all are here to make me look good."
Yeah.
And John Leguizamo heard this and just started laughing because he thought, how the hell could anyone say this and it not be a joke?
Right.
And Steven Seagal's response was to choke slam him up against a wall to
assault him.
to put him in his place.
Oh, man.
Like, what an Executive Decision. It's one of these pre 9/11 terrorism films. I feel like this was a thing that happened a lot in the 90s. And I wonder if these films, it was before 9/11. And
Are they Lebanese or something?
Something like that, I think. I feel like
they hijacked the 747. It's coming into DC, and then they're gonna blow up DC.
There's some nerve agent on board. And the idea, and Kurt Russell says this is enough nerve agent to take out half of the eastern seaboard.
Right.
Which, I don't think that really works. A plane crashes. Like, how far can the wind spread nerve agent before it just dilutes?
It's some potent nerve agent.
I don't want that.
Potent nerve agent.
I feel like this era was sort of inspired by the Lockerbie incident that happened. Kind of took Pan Am down. And this actually goes into terrorist attacks actually make it so people don't want to use the airlines that these terrorist attacks took place on. American Airlines lost a lot of business after 9/11. Same with Pan Am with the Lockerbie incident, and United, to the point where they knew it even before 9/11, but you'll notice in the movie Executive Decision, the airline is Oceanic, which is basically the 555 area code for airplane movies, because if a plane is going to be taken over by terrorists or crash, they want to use a fake name. No airline wants their company associated with that attack.
Yes.
And so as a result, they created this fake airline called Oceanic, which is used in Executive Decision heavily. Also, the show Lost.
Wow.
Lost, the plane crashes. It's an Oceanic plane.
Another J.J. Abrams vehicle. We talked about Gone Fishing before. Don't want to bring that up again. Yeah, don't.
Oceanic. It's a fake airline just made for the film industry.
This is a great action movie. It's a great plane movie. I really like all of the there are some tricks and traps, and I like how they have to get into the guts of the airplane.
Yeah.
And then they have to figure out how to surreptitiously communicate with Halle Berry, who is the classic reluctant hero.
Yeah, fish out of water kind of scenario. Yeah,
but really has to rise up and meet the demands of the day, and doesn't even know that she has it in her. But really has to do it.
There are a few moments in the film too where she's caught by the terrorists, and she keeps
her cool.
Yeah, and Kurt Russell's like, she's had it. John Leguizamo's like, she's had it. She's done. Stop trying to use her. It's too much for her. And she says, nope, I gotta save the plane. This is my job. I'm responsible for all of these people.
Yeah. There are just terrific action set pieces in this too. And I love a movie where everything is so far-fetched. Like, these guys are all special forces, right? Their leader is Steven Seagal, but they also have to take Kurt Russell with them because
he's like the expert in the situation.
He's the expert, even though he's like an academic, right?
Yeah. And they all hate him at first.
You know it because he has glasses on.
Yeah. And these guys, they're all blue collar, and they got this white collar dude coming down and trying to tell them what he knows. And they learn to respect him over the course of the film because he's putting these
he also is fish out of water, right?
Yeah.
He knows theoretically what to do, but he's scared out of his mind.
He's never done this before.
And so he and Halle Berry both have to sort of like muster the valor, right? And the bravery.
Let's figure this out together. Let's build off of each other's courage and figure this out, because everyone's going to die if we don't.
If you take nothing else away from this show, take away Executive Decision.
Mm-hmm.
Great film. Stuart Baird, Kurt Russell, Steven Seagal. Go see it.
Go see Oliver Platt. I love him.
Go see Oliver Platt.
He's also a great villain in Beethoven, written by John Hughes.
That's right. And Three Musketeers. We did it
Porthos,
all for one.
Porthos.
And all for love.
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris
O'Donnell.
Charlie Sheen.
Got that Kiefer Sutherland.
You're going to love it.
Oh, yeah. Tim Curry's great in that one.
He's really good.
I love him.
He's really good.
A little real creep.
Look, honey, the kids are exhausted. You are exhausted. There's absolutely nothing more that we can do in this airport. Now, I say we go over to Rob's, and that way we can call the police again, and they can get back to us.
Peter, Kevin is home all by himself. I'm not leaving here unless it's on an airplane.
Madam, we are doing everything we can. Now, if you want to stay at the airport, maybe we can get you on standby. It is a possibility that seat will open up.
Okay?
Yes. I'll wait.
Bells will be ringing.
Summer in Wisconsin. A time for peace, quiet, and heavy-duty shipping solutions. Whether you're out on the water enjoying nature or, more likely, standing on a concrete factory floor, Dan Glebinski wants you to be prepared.
Christ.
Before you head out this weekend, swing by Sheboygan Corrugated Box and Crating for their July overstock sale on double-wall Gaylord containers. And while you're loading up the truck, don't forget to pack a protein-rich snack from Lake Michigan Smoked Chub Distributors. Oily, traditional, and they fit in a standard GRC brand brown box.
I think they get the gist. Can we just,
Glebinski Regional Consolidated.
All right, fine.
Substance over style.
Just keep going. Yeah. All right. Are we back? Is the ad over? You got that out of your system? What are we talking about now? Airports. Home Alone takes place in the 90s,
Man.
before 9/11.
Flight hijacking films were breezy and fun.
You could have
back in the 90s.
You could have a good time with them.
You could really have a good time with hijackers on a plane. 9/11 really ruined that.
It did. Nobody had any more fun with airplanes and, hijinks and whatnot. Yeah.
In addition to Executive Decision, I would point to one of my favorites, which is Con Air.
Con Air.
Con Air.
I do have a good time with Con Air. Not commercial flying here.
Exactly. It's a little bit different because, they're flying cons.
Who owns those planes that fly convicted felons from one place to another?
I mean, in the movie, they say that it's the Department of Corrections or something.
Oh, okay.
Right? I don't know.
They own planes?
I don't know.
Why they just ship them FedEx?
It definitely doesn't matter.
I think that's actually how it works. If a convict has to go from one city to another, I think they actually just fly on a regular plane. There's not like a plane of convicts or something.
Yeah, but this one is bad because they're moving them all to a new super max prison.
This is true.
Right? They're getting all of like the worst of the worst, all the prisoners together, but Nicolas Cage is meant to be released.
He's a sweetheart.
He was in the military.
Victim of
circumstance. He gets his girlfriend, his wife, and he get assaulted outside of a bar.
His hands are a deadly weapon.
He just happens to be really good at fighting.
You don't got a license to kill these guys. You kill the guy, you go to prison.
He goes to prison
make
for
friends with a dude.
His daughter's in first grade, so I think he's been in prison for like 7 or 8 years or something like that.
You've got so many different factions in this film too, because not only do you have Nick Cage, who's just trying to get out of the system, you've got John Malkovich and his team, which are like
Cyrus
the bad guys. And then you've also got Cole Meany, who's not a villain, but he is kind of
a meanie.
He is a meanie.
Yeah.
Cole Meany is a meanie in Con Air. And then you've got John Cusack, who's the guy who knows that Nick Cage is in innocent, and that's his guy on the ground. I think they have a few conversations or something like that. Yeah, I like John Cusack in that movie.
Yeah,
Steve Buscemi too. Maybe one of my favorite roles. I love Steve Buscemi in that movie.
Oh, you got Ving Rhames. You got Dave Chappelle.
Oh
in that movie,
Dave Chappelle.
right?
Forgot he was in it. Yep.
He's some pure comic relief. He's actually there to like deliver jokes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's comic relief because everyone in the movie is comical.
Yeah.
And intentionally so.
I just love John Malkovich when he's doing over the top. Like, I really love him as an over the top character.
Yeah.
John Malkovich is great.
Yes. Another one.
Oh, I'm going to go into Air Force One, directed by Wolfgang Peterson. You know what? Started underneath the sea with Das Boot, and now we go above the clouds with Air Force One.
Yes.
And you've got Harrison Ford in what is probably his last good role ever.
Wait, what about What Lies Beneath?
Oh, off with
You
that.
didn't like that one?
No.
You know, what about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? You loved that movie.
Okay. Yeah. We don't need to get into it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know it.
Air Force One, William H. Macy.
You got Gary Oldman as the villain.
Oldman.
William H. Macy's in it as kind of a side character. I don't know. I really like that movie.
It's good. Glenn Close.
Glenn Close plays the vice president. Yeah. And
Dean Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell's in it.
Yep.
He's the guy that tries to convince Glenn Close to say, no, the president, he doesn't have presence of mind. You've got to take power away from him. She says, no.
You got to invoke the 25th.
No.
And she's like, no. That mother. I know what he's up to up there.
Yeah.
He's about to go ham.
I think the reason I love Air Force One is pretty much the same reason I love Executive Decision is it is an ensemble cast. You have all of these different characters and each one feels like a real piece of the puzzle and they each do their own thing to contribute to getting everyone off the plane safely.
Yeah.
Both scored by Jerry Goldsmith. I love the score for Air Force One. It is just so sweeping. You have moments of victory at the end when Gary Oldman, spoiler alert, Gary Oldman loses.
Yeah.
And
you're not going to be surprised.
Oh, man. You've got Harrison Ford saying, get off my plane. And it's just the sweeping score takes you to the end. Such a good movie. I really love Air Force One. I have such a good time with it.
It's really good. And I think we were talking about how there was this delineation point in cinema, right? Like pre and post 9/11.
Yeah.
And what not just flight movies, but like hijacking films basically look like. I mean, post 9/11, it gets really, we don't get to have these breezy and fun movies anymore because it's tasteless.
No.
Right?
And nobody wants to watch an in-flight movie about a plane getting hijacked while they're in.
Right. Though I was once on a flight where someone in front of me on their laptop was watching United 93.
Yikes.
Okay.
Pretty serious. I mean, whatever. Watch what you want to watch, but maybe this isn't the time and place. I don't know. I think this gets us back to like 9/11 as a delineation point. Home Alone takes place pre 9/11, and you have a family who's late to O'Hare and they run from the van straight to the gate.
Right.
You used to be able to do this kind of thing. Like it used to be, you just went through a metal detector. Families could go with you to the gate. You didn't need to have a boarding pass.
Right.
You didn't need to even have an ID. Like it really was kind of a free for all. Essentially, there was a little
like
bit
getting on a bus or a train or something.
Yeah, and the security in airports, they weren't government run. They were private agencies who handled it, and it really felt back then, or at least I'm told. I never flew pre 9/11, but I'm told it was a much more lax situation. It wasn't as serious. You didn't feel like there were armed guards there who were ready to take you away to a room if they found something in your briefcase.
I mean, back in the 70s, I think Bill Murray, he somehow got caught, but he tried to smuggle like 5 pounds of pot onto a flight or something like that. You wouldn't like on his person.
Yeah. Nobody post 9/11 is going to try that because the scanners are going to see right through you.
Right.
Literally.
Right. Looks like you have about 5 pounds of pot on your body.
Yeah. And I think this goes back to like just how like Home Alone really couldn't have taken place in an era other than the era it took place in.
That's true. I
When
mean,
you get
we've
to
talked about cell phones, of course.
Airplanes is the other big plot.
Another
hole.
thing is airplanes.
Post 9/11, there's no way a parent isn't shepherding their 8-year-old son through a body scanner.
Right.
The other thing that died is travel agents. They all had their tickets beforehand. They had a stack of tickets.
Right. They had their tickets at the house, right? They had their boarding passes in the little envelopes.
Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff you don't see now. You buy your own tickets from your own little online thing. You
most
don't get it from
people
a travel
just
agency.
scan a QR code on their phone now. But if you don't have that, you're printing off a really flimsy sort of like receipt paper boarding pass when you get to the airport.
But it's just you and the airlines now. No travel agencies
just
going in
you
between
and the
you.
airlines.
You against them. You're gonna take those airplanes down.
You fight the law. You can't fight City Hall. That's what they say. You fight the law, and you can't fight City Hall.
This is why Richard M. Daley won, taking down Meigs Field in 2003. Fight the power, Rich M. Daley. Don't let them body scan you.
So I think the big takeaway here is that planes are central to the plot of Home Alone. We couldn't have this movie without them.
No.
And I think, I think France got it right.
They did. Mother, I Missed the Plane. That's really the crux. It's not about Kevin being left home alone. It's about him missing the plane, which is the inciting incident.
That's right.
Mother, I Missed the Plane.
Mother, I Missed the Plane. Now what's about to happen?
Uh-huh.
Now what's going to happen?
This is the fallout from Mother, I Missed the Plane. All ancillary. There's some funny stuff in there, but really it's like, how did Kevin not get on the plane?
How didn't he get on that plane?
I don't know, but you know what? My kids are always going to make the plane if I ever have them. I'm going to make a point of that. Yeah.
You looking into that?
I'm going to make them watch the movie. I'm going to make them watch Home Alone and see.
And then there's
this
gonna
is
be
what
a
could happen to
quiz.
you.
There's going to be a quiz afterwards.
Yep.
No, a full exam.
Study up.
If you were going to write an exam on Home Alone, how much of it would be multiple choice? How much would be fill in the blank? And how much of it would be short answer? How much of it would be essay?
No essay. I don't want any essays. I've never written a good essay in my life. Back when I was in school, I actually tried to game out how many essays I could not write and still get by with a B or an A.
Oh,
you just skip essays. And that's what I'm going to do right here. I don't want any essay on American Airlines. I don't want to know the history of that company.
So this one's a little more standardized. If you're writing the exam,
I mean, what's the point of a test anyway? You either know the shit or you don't. You take a test and it's like, well, I can fake like I know it. That's what I did.
Okay, well, that's multiple choice then, right?
Yeah.
What about word cloud? Is that what they call it?
I don't know.
Word cloud?
I've always been about hands-on learning.
Cloud?
I learn all my jobs hands-on.
Is that word cloud?
Put my hands on the mic. There we go.
They have the words.
Hands on the mic. You hear that?
They have all the words.
Hands-on learning.
They have the words in a box. Word box.
I don't want to take any tests anymore. Don't test me, okay? Is this another Dan Glabensky pitfall you're trying to set for me?
They do this thing where you've got all of these words in a box, right?
I don't want it
and
anymore.
You've got like 10 questions.
I'm tired of these
ads. It's the fill in the blank.
He wants us to start like advertising his airport that he's installing in Sheboygan. We don't need an airport in Sheboygan. We can take planes, trains, and automobiles away from without the planes.
No, just the trains and the automobiles. Kate or Dan.
I've really wanted to develop a hobby
right?
as like miniature trains. I want to build those train sets in my basement.
Little
the smaller ones, because the larger the figurines get, I feel like the less convincing it is. And I
if you have to think of the word off the top of your head.
Is this working anymore?
Broadcast live from our studio in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, The Long Road Home Alone is hosted by Jimmy Dantes and Joey Z, and produced by Pat Muldoon. Be sure to tune in next time, don't forget your reading glasses, and keep the change, you filthy animals.